almost new cars. And if you'd like to stop by and see them or see them on our website, bobweberautomart.com, we could save you between $5,000 and $10,000 on your next almost new car purchase.
Welcome into another edition of Sports Junkies. Steve Sparky Fifer here with you from the Wendy's Big Show, weekday afternoons from 2 to 6 on Sports Radio 1250 WSSP in Milwaukee. He, of course, Gery Woelfel from the Racine Journal-Times. Time to preview the power forward position for the NBA draft coming up on June 26th. Don't forget, we'll have our draft show that night from the very first pick to the very last pick of the NBA draft all night long. Myself and Mike Maxey. All right, let's talk a little bit about the power forward position. We get back into who goes where. There are some NBA teams that have Jabari Parker possibly at 4. I don't. He's not going to be in this discussion. Noah Vonleh, however, is a power forward from Indiana. He is number 1 on our board. However, he's listed at 6'9" from the website that I went to look at. Is he big enough to play this position?
He's actually taller at the pre-draft camp. I think he was like 6'10" and a half.
Okay.
And the nice thing, he's got a great wingspan. He's athletic. Do you remember a couple weeks ago on the Big Show you were talking about, okay, what if the Bucks fell down to 4? This is before the draft lottery. Who would you take? And I said Vonleh.
Right.
And I'll stay with Vonleh. I think this kid has a big upside. Is he going to be a superstar? No, but I think
very raw.
Huh?
He's very raw.
But I saw him play against Wisconsin this year, and Tom Crean used him primarily around the basket, but this guy has a perimeter shot. He can go out on the floor and shoot it. And I talked to a couple guys just in the last week. They have all moved Vonleh ahead of Randall, Julius Randall of Kentucky.
Randall's got a foot issue.
Well, yeah, supposedly. We don't know.
He's denying it, but...
Yeah, right, exactly. But, I mean, everybody loves Randall. I had a couple GMs, early in the season, middle of the season, saying, hey, he was in the mix for the number 1 pick. All of a sudden, he's sliding a little bit. The one game I watched with Julius Randall was against LSU. Do you know a guy named Johnny O'Brien, by any chance?
Yes.
Johnny O'Brien is a good player, okay? He cleaned up on Julius Randall. Yeah. He had like 30 points, just a dominating presence. And the more I watch Julius Randall, I love his all-around game. I think the comparisons to Zach Randolph are apt. I think there's a lot of similarities there. But the one thing that he has a problem with, and Zach Randolph has had himself, is going against bigger players.
Yep.
And when he went against Johnny O'Brien, he struggled against length. And in the NBA, all your power forwards are basically 6'11" or taller. And if he's going to have his game predicated on playing inside, he's going to be in trouble.
Yeah, I agree with you. Randall scares me a little bit. Vonleh, I think, is a project. Randall was obviously 2 on our board. Number 3 on our board is a guy that I've liked from prior to the college season starting, Aaron Gordon out of Arizona, 6'9", super athletic, can jump out of the gym. Needs to work on a jump shot, obviously, from that perspective. Can get up and down the floor with ease. A guy that I think, when this is all said and done, probably will be the best power forward out of this class.
See, I've got a complete opposite opinion. I think he's going to be the flop of the draft. And again, athletically, he's got it, and people love athletes. I have a question with his size. He's a tweener. Again,
well, no different than Randall or
he measured out about 6'7.5" at the pre-draft camp.
See, all these things off of these websites are
right,
inaccurate.
Exactly. Just go to the pre-draft websites and you can see the actual numbers. He's a tweener. I don't know where he plays. I don't think he's quick enough. Doesn't have a great outside shot to be a small forward. He's undersized to be a power forward. I don't know. I would have real concerns about him at the pro level.
All right, number 4, Dario Saric, who the Bucks had interest in supposedly last year if he would have come out to the NBA draft. He didn't. He stayed in for another year. I think it's another guy that's probably raw, and I'm not quite sure how long it'll take for him to develop.
Well, he's got a pretty mature game already. He's kind of like Tony Kukoc in a way, and he hates a stereotype, but he's kind of like the European front court player.
Sure.
He's not exceptionally quick. He's not
physical.
overly athletic. He's not physical. His basketball IQ is off the charts. And if you watch the San Antonio Spurs the other night winning the NBA title, you saw every guy in that team has off the charts IQ.
Sure.
It's not like none of these guys are going to win any athletic contest.
Right.
But they know how to play the game. I mean, they're just smart, heady players. And Saric kind of fits into that mold. Now, if you have good players around him, I think he's terrific. But if you don't, if you're the Bucks, he's going to struggle big time.
And number 5, a guy that a lot of people around here like because you've seen him play in the Big Ten, Adrian Payne from Michigan State, a big physical power forward.
He's my guy. I'll tell you what, if I was a team like the Golden State Warriors, for instance, I would go after that guy. Just bring him into the mix.
You got Draymond Green, another Michigan State guy.
If I'm the Milwaukee Bucks, I would go. I mean, if I'm probably about 25 of the teams in the league, I would go after Adrian Payne. Again, he's going to show up every single night and play hard. And from a physical standpoint, he can play center. He can play power forward. And that was one of the things Larry Drew was saying all towards the end of last year. Same with John Hammond. We got to get tougher inside. This guy brings toughness.
Well, and they got a player that we all thought was a throw-in in the deal with Ramon Sessions that ended up being that physical presence inside.
Right.
Not again.
And he's undersized. He's a 6'7" guy, whereas Payne's probably 6'10", 6'11". Yep. So what I find incredible is, and maybe it's because of needs, teams in the lottery, if they're looking for a power forward, this is a guy, to me, it's a no-brainer.
And he ain't going in the lottery.
I know.
That's
nobody
not happening.
And I think he's got a chance to be a very good player.
I don't think he's going. I really don't. Because I think his offensive game limits him from how high he's going to go. Adrian Payne's not going to be a guy that's going to score 20 points a night. That's just not going to happen.
No.
He is Gery Woelfel of the Racine Journal-Times. I'm Steve Sparky.
Hey, we got to throw in a plug for Jameel Wilson. There's a possibility he could be drafted late in the second round, and he's kind of in that tweener mold, power forward, small forward. But again, I wrote about this about a week ago. I think he is one of the sleepers in this draft. Nobody is talking to him. The question is, does he have the intensity to play at the NBA level? Because we know athletically he's got it. We'll see.
That'll do it for another edition of Sports Junkies.
No follow.
Nope. Here at RacineSportsZone.com, I'm Steve Sparky Fifer. He's Gery Woelfel. We'll talk to you next time when we preview the center position for the NBA draft coming up.